and gentlemen, Byron Rogers here, and welcome to the Loop of Destiny, where we work together to raise your level of consciousness, your level of awareness, to help you deliberately create the life that is truly yours, the life that's in resonance with who you are, the life that you know you're capable of, ladies and gentlemen. And today's lesson is really the foundation, one of the foundational principles of the Loop of Destiny. It's all about raising your level of consciousness. It's all about becoming super conscious on command. What if you could tap into intuition on command? What if you could become infinitely creative exactly when you needed to? What if you could find insight when you needed it? What if you were able to create your life deliberately from a higher level of intelligence? Today's lesson is extremely powerful, and it's going to totally transform and change the way you live your life, which will change your life. And so I am extremely excited about it. Now, how do you become super conscious? There are many different ways to become super conscious, all of which we cover within the Loop of Destiny. You can use silence. You can use stillness. You can reclaim your identity by watching the thinker. You can use a totem, and you can step into your infinite self. We're going to cover all these different principles within the loop, but for this lesson, we're going to talk about reclaiming your true identity. We're going to talk about watching the thinker. This principle is taken from Eckhart Tolle's book called The Power of Now. And it greatly changed my life some years ago, and it's going to be extremely powerful in transmuting and really adding value to the way that you create your life. But first, let's get present. Let's get present. Let's leave the past behind. Let's let the future be in the future. And let's get 100% focused and present here with one another so that we can get the most value out of our time together. Let's go ahead and dive into this present moment. Let's make this moment so real that we can create reality from it. So I want to encourage you to participate with me in this quick exercise and begin to breathe. And that's really essentially all you're going to need to do is just breathe and listen to me as I really pilot us through this moment of becoming present with one another. All right, so breathe, and when you're breathing, I want you to breathe in for 4 seconds, hold it for 2, and then out for 4 seconds. All right, in for 4 seconds, hold it for 2, out for 4 seconds. Are you ready? Breathe. In for 4 seconds. 3, 4, 5. Hold it for 2, out for 4 seconds. I accidentally counted 5, no big deal. In for 4 seconds. Hold it for 2, out for 4 seconds. Now continue to breathe while I talk to you right now. Now just go on ahead and imagine that you're in a room full of nothing. That this moment is just for you and I to talk about recreating and designing your world, to empower you to step into your world. Keep breathing. From the most empowered and strong, authentic place. All right? Leave the pressures of your life situation behind. Take a mental vacation. The problems that exist will be there after this video, and you can take them up and figure them out and deal with them at that time. Right now, let's focus on what we're doing. Let the past stay in the past, and let the future stay in the future. And let's apply ourselves together right now to do this work. Keep breathing. 100% together. All right, ladies and gentlemen, so back to the lesson. I hope that did something for you, just help you shake off just the stresses that we carry around in the past events of our day and in the future things that we have coming up. Within your mind, remember there are 3 different levels of consciousness. You've got your volitional, willful consciousness, which is what we're talking through and communicating through right now. This is the plane through which you change and control everything. You've got your subconscious, emotional driving energy, your soul that remembers everything. And then you've got your superconscious faculty, which is the higher levels of intelligence that you have, which is where intuition and inspiration and all your true power truly lies. And also within your being. Remember, you are a spirit who has a soul, who lives within a body. Okay, and the aim of the loop of destiny is to connect the strength of your spirit, the intelligence of your spirit, the purity of what is your spirit, to the emotional driving force of your soul, so that you are acting from a place of faith constantly, intuition constantly, creativity constantly, without all of the baggage that we bring from our volitional, willful, conscious mind, where we're all of our learned experiences and hang-ups, and our logic and reasoning gets in the way. So you've got to remember that your logic and reasoning faculty, this willful, volitional mind, is designed, it's short-term knowledge. Okay? Logic has to do with sight, what you see, what's right in front of you. But your intuition, your superconscious level of consciousness, has to do with vision. So logic is sight-based, and your intuition is vision-based. When you close your eyes and you see yourself being so much more, and you see a reality where you're so much more, and there's so much more going on, you're using vision. You're not using sight. Because when you open your eyes, you're still right where you are. But how do you get to where you're going, where you want to be? You've got to use vision. You've got to see that vision. It's got to be real. You've got to feel it. And that's another lesson, but you've got to use that vision. And that vision comes from your spirit, because your spirit, your superconscious, your level of superconsciousness, your spirit is circling at 100 feet, and it sees and it knows everything you're supposed to do, everything you're supposed to be. When you close your eyes and you fantasize and you see yourself having everything that you know is actually supposed to be yours, that car, that house, that family, that loved one, when you see all that, that's because that's what can be. That's what can be if you learn to follow your intuition and your spirit. That is your superconscious faculty, your spirit, giving you a glimpse of a reality that is and can be yours, that is in alignment with your destiny. But as long as you find yourself wrestling and staying with logic and playing it safe and doing what makes sense, guys, you're never going to break free from fear consciousness. Your logic and reasoning faculty, your logic and reason will keep you on the horizontal plane, walking around in average everyday life, doing what makes sense. That's how everyone is in bondage right now and is not free. That's how people's spirits are not free to do and be and manifest who they truly are. That's why so few people on this planet reach their destiny, really, because of the economy. So nonetheless, what we're talking about is getting from this horizontal plane of logic and reasoning to the vertical plane of your destiny, your purpose, passion, and the finer intangible values and payoffs and benefits and emotional states associated with life. When you stay on the horizontal plane, you're going towards fate. Fate is what happens if you do not act, if you do not take action of faith. Fate happens to you. Whereas destiny is something you reach out and you claim and you fight for and you push towards. So destiny is what you get if you can get on the vertical plane of faith. But fate is what happens to you if you stay on the horizontal plane of fear and logic-based reasoning. Your logic-based reasoning is risk versus reward. It's the part of your brain that when we were evolving, you saw a buffalo and you were like, oh, there's a buffalo. Should I kill the buffalo and feed my family with it? Or should I just go pick some berries? If I kill the buffalo and it hurts me and it gores me, then I'm going to die because I can't feed my family. And that doesn't make sense. I probably shouldn't do that. That's what logic is for. Logic is for navigating yourself through time and space within your readily available environment. Logic is for when you get a vision. Then you go to the drawing board and you use your logic and you try and figure out, all right, how do I get it from A to B? And you come up with the next step and you go from here to there. The vision's all the way out here. The vision's way out here, but your logic will get you from here to here. Then you'll have to use faith to get back in and chunk it and be like, man, so what's the next move? How am I going to do this? And as you keep your brain in that state of relaxed faith and understanding that you're going on a journey, you're going on the journey of self-actualization. You're going on the journey of going after your destiny. Do you get those next steps? And those next steps always come as you step out in faith, in self-belief. How are great things done? How does every single great person do any and every great deed that's ever been done when they were told the world was flat, when they were told they wouldn't have freedom, when they were told they can't cross over a mountain range back in the day, when they were told all these different things? If everyone listened to logic and reason and played it safe, where would we be? Not only as a country, as a nation, as a world, where would humanity be? There is a higher form of intelligence, a finer form of intelligence that drives mankind to achieve. There is a higher form of intelligence that unlocks the power of who we truly are and sends us on a journey to our destinies. And as we reach those destinies, we change the world. And it is the most rewarding journey associated with being a human being that is physically possible. Before I go any more on a tangent, that's what tapping into the strength of your spirit is truly all about. That's what becoming super conscious and accessing intuition and creativity is all about, and honoring your true nature, your infinite spirit nature. Otherwise, there's only fate. So how do you elevate your thoughts? How do you step away from the logic that's run your life for so long? How do you really tap into faith and intuition and inspiration? How do you get out of the stream of consciousness that you've been in your entire life? The answer is extremely simple, but as Leonardo da Vinci said, simplicity is the ultimate sophistication. Wisdom is generally very simple. And knowledge is not power, but the application of knowledge. Knowledge represents potential power, but the proper, timely application of knowledge is what truly brings power. You can know everything in the world, but with no proper application of this knowledge, one never amasses any power. So I'm going to give you the principle, and it is extremely simple, but don't look down on it. Try to implement it. How do you step into a higher level of consciousness? You hear your thoughts, you see your thoughts, you become present with your thoughts, and then you disassociate your identity with your thoughts. You reclaim your identity, knowing that your thoughts are connected to your ego, knowing that your thoughts are simply a bunch of different classifications and judgments and opinions that have been formed from your time on this planet and your parents' time on this planet, which the sum total of your time and every single person you know in the whole entire world's time on this planet put together is about this much time. It's that much time right there, ladies and gentlemen. It is literally like that much time. 1,000 years, that much time. 1,000,000 years, that much time. 1,000,000,000 years might be something like this much time. That's where all of our intelligence comes from that we use to navigate our whole entire lives. Not so, ladies and gentlemen. You have access to higher forms of intelligence. So as you learn to remember that your opinions, your judgments, what you think, the thoughts that are running through your mind have only to do with your 10 minutes on this planet. You've been alive 100 years, that's something like 15 minutes on the planet. Fine. Either way, you've only been here for a second, and your life is like a fleeting vapor within this reality. Next comes eternity. But that's a whole in eternity. This our life is nothing. And so our form of intelligence and identification is something that puts us in a box. If you're an infinite spirit, and you are, then you've got to know that there's a higher form of intelligence that you have access to that has more to do with eternity than the logic and egoic intelligence that we use to navigate our lives. So how do you step out of that thought chatter? You learn to access the principle of watching the thinker. You become 100% present with your thoughts. You become 100% aware of your thoughts, and you even listen to them. But the difference is you listen to your thoughts with impartiality. You listen to your brain chatter knowing what it is. It's brain chatter. It's your ego trying to make sense of everything that it's seeing. But you look at your ego like a child, because that's truly what it is. It's just learning. It's on this journey with you. Your logic is on this journey with you, and it's like, oh, well, what do you think about this? What do you think about that? I think this, I think that. Oh no, I can't believe she said that to me. I can't believe he said that to me. I think our feelings are hurt right now. And your ego draws power based on you identifying with your ego. And the more you identify with your ego, the more you become your ego. And when your ego now decides to feel a certain way about something, your ego now puts life into that through your consciousness. And now for you to get disagreed with, for you to lose an argument, for you to misjudge now represents what? Death. A small death to your ego. That's unacceptable. And now you are this infinite spirit that has put yourself in a box associated to a feeling, to a thought process, to an opinion, to a judgment. And now you are enslaved to this opinion and judgment, and you must walk the path that is in alignment with that judgment. And when you learn to watch the thinker and disassociate yourself from these judgments, you now free yourself. You now free yourself to be who you are and what you are, an infinite spirit. So now the chatter in your mind, as your thoughts are running, and you're like, this is cute, this is interesting, and you're watching your little ego try and like logic and reason and judge everything, and you stop and you step away and you listen to it, but you know what it is through your consciousness. You're now aware of what's really going on. You're going to find that those thoughts are going to slow down because they're less important to you now. Now there's going to be all this space. There's going to be all the stillness, the silence. There's going to be space for intuition. There's going to be space for faith. There's going to be space for serendipity. There's going to be space for creativity. Everything, remember, was created 2 times. Somebody was sitting there and they were like, wow, a chair. This is an awesome invention. People can sit in this. We could put some arms on this thing, and man, wow. When someone's mind was still, boom, that's when intuition can step in the gap. That's when creativity, inspiration, serendipity can step into the gap. And you can access this type of intelligence no matter what you're going through, especially when you're in high pressure situations, to raise your level of consciousness and get the bird's eye view on what's really going on. Pull yourself out of the situation. Access all the intelligence involved. Access your opponent's intelligence. Realize that there is no opponent, that you're just there to learn. And that's all that any of this is. When you learn to honor feeling over thought, you're there. Like Bruce Lee says, don't think, feel. When you learn to honor feeling over thought, you're there. And when I say feeling, I don't mean emotion. I mean intuition. When you can get your thought chatter and opinions and judgments down, silent enough to feel what you truly feel about someone, what you truly feel about a situation, what you truly feel the right way is to act within a situation, you're there. That's when you're there. When I say feeling, I don't mean emotion. Your emotions are like the bullet trails. They're like the wind trail behind bullets of thoughts. Your emotions are the physical manifestations and embodiments of your thoughts. Your emotions tell you where your heart is. Your emotions tell you what you truly think about something that's going on. It's a completely different type of feeling. I mean the intuitive feeling. The emotion's like a physical feeling. Intuitive feeling is a knowing. There are 2 different ways to arrive at knowing. Through information and logic, and also through intuition. I just have a feeling. We've all said it because it's true and it's real. That's how people do amazing things, is they go off these feelings joined with vision, and they create new realities that the human race didn't even know was possible. And we do it all the time in small scales within our worlds, and that's what this video is all about. So remember, disassociate with your thoughts. That's the first step. You're in a high stress situation, or you're going through your life and you're listening to these thoughts and opinions and things that are going through your head, preconditioned thought processes, self-limiting belief structures, and you're like, wow, become more mindful, raise your level of consciousness about your thoughts, and disassociate. Remember, these are just thoughts. They're just based on my 10 minutes on this planet and what I think. And I've seen this much of what's really going on. Take your identity back. Be the watcher. Be the stillness. Be the observer of reality, because that's what you truly are. You are not this body. This body is a glove. You are the stillness, the power, the consciousness, the awareness behind the glove. You are the hand inside the glove. And science has yet to figure out exactly what that is. Spirituality has spoken about what that is for thousands of years. Nonetheless, be that stillness. Be that knowing. Know that nothing can destroy you. You are infinite. Your body will pass away, but your awareness, your consciousness, who you truly are, will never go away. Know that, step into that, own that in every situation, and in your mind and your consciousness, do the same. And as you own that in your mind and in your consciousness, boom, you will raise your level of consciousness, awareness, and literally operate from a higher level of intelligence. You'll access the second way of knowing, which is intuition, intuiting information. You'll be able to create on demand. You'll be able to access intuition on demand. You'll be able to feel your way through situations, slow down your thoughts, disassociate yourself with all the people in there that are trying to and make a timely decision from confidence. We're going to go over many different ways to do this, but this is one of them. Now, for the practical application, I want you to go on ahead and this week focus not only on disassociating with your thoughts, but when you get into high stress situations or you need to create something's being asked of you and your abilities being stretched and pushed. When you find yourself in those situations, I want you to deliberately slow down your thoughts. Don't focus on slowing down your thoughts. Become present with your thoughts. Listen to them with impartiality. Be the knowing, be the stillness, be the watching. And as you go through your days, deliberately do your best to be that stillness, be that knowing. Hear your thoughts, be present with them, but know that they're just your thoughts. Play the devil's advocate in every altercation, situation, conversation you have all this week. Okay? I want you to laugh at yourself. I want you to look at your opinions and views and laugh at how just, small they are in relation to just you and your life, but how small they are into the whole universe and the world. Man, know thyself. So your goal this week is to really be impartial to your thoughts as often as possible. And this is something that you'll get better and better and better and better and better at. At first you'll forget, but then you'll remember. At first you'll forget, then you remember. In fact, go ahead and set some alarms. Set 3 alarms on your phone this week that say, you are not your thoughts. Just to remind you, it's now o'clock. You are not your thoughts. Boom, little reminder. You look at your phone and you're like, oh yeah, okay. And then go through the day and watch the thing. You will laugh. You will laugh at yourself, but you will evolve as well. You will literally mature as well. And then write comments. Let me know how it goes for you during the week. Write some comments. Tell some stories about different situations you found yourself in where you were just like, boom, like, okay, I was arguing with this person about this, and then I remembered not to associate, not to put my identity in things, that I'm more than that. And what happens? Boom, you step into the situation, you handle it correctly. You can handle it in love because you're not in fear of dying. Your ego is in fear of dying a small death from being wrong. This is a higher level of awareness. This is a higher level of intelligence. And now when you decide to think, you can go way deeper into situations. When you decide to think with your mind, you can go much deeper into situations, or you can access your spirit and wait for the intuition to guide you through life, which is truly the way that we're supposed to go through life anyways. Ladies and gentlemen, it's been an honor and a privilege. Until the next video, I want to be here to inspire you, to empower you, to challenge you, to push you, to support you, to find your purpose, live with passion, and reach your destiny. Thank you.